So I'm going to return the result in present single if my keyboard cooperates. Well, let me show you an example. I'm going to write this ifrec without any capitalization. When I hit return, it actually reverts it to my original capitalization. That way I know I didn't make a mistake. If I had typed this as ifrec, see, it didn't make any change. That immediately alerts me that I made a spelling mistake. And present single, that's the value that's going to be returned, okay, is icash divided by 1 plus p rate raised to the power number of periods. Done. Now I'm going to show you how to call this function in Excel. Okay, let me create a copy of, actually, I wanted to create a copy of the blank. And suppose I wanted to do the following. I'm going to do a mini template. Cash, APR, years, $100, 2.35%, and 12.5. PV. I know we have an Excel function that calculates PV, don't get me wrong, but I want to use my own little function. The way to do that, either you remember the syntax, present single, cash, rate, years, and frequency. Actually, let me also put frequency here. So let's make that monthly. Let me grab this here. I could directly write it. Present single, cash, APR, years, and frequency. I know, I typed a little thingy. Since I'm anal about letting people know that money is money, I'm going to put that over there. So if I change anything, compounding frequency is 1 or 365, what have you. If you don't remember what the syntax is, you can always use the function helper, as I call it. On the formula bar, there's this little icon, FX. Go find user-defined functions. These are functions that do not come with Excel, but somebody actually wrote them. In this case, just type the first 2 letters. It'll get you there. Present single, hit OK. Now it tells you what each of those arguments are, if you don't remember. And just click on the proper ones. If I leave it blank, it's going to take it 1. But if I put it there, it's going to change it. Either way, you can access your function that way. You can also access that function within VBA itself, as we're going to do relatively shortly. Just like we have a function for present value, I want to write a function for future value. So if I give you $1 now, you invest it at a certain rate, compounded monthly, how much money you will have 40 years from today. Of course, I'm a civilized man. I copied stuff. I'm just gonna change the name to future single. In fact, let me show you another trick. Not trick, but shortcut. A lot of times you copy something, you just want to change stuff. Just select that code, Control H, that does a global find and replace. Anytime it sees a present, it's going to convert that into future. Just select the text, replace all, and it changed even the comment. Calculates the future value of a single cash flow in the future, future single, future single. The only difference is instead of dividing, we're going to be multiplying by that factor. That's it, done. Now we have future value. So FV, if you put, or let's do it the pedestrian, but quick, certain way, future single, my $100 invested at 245 for 12 and a half compounded daily. That's going to be 135. Let's see. Let's make this 10%, 40 years, compounded monthly. You can play it on as any way you like. Okay. So if you invest $100 at 10% interest rate, compounded monthly for 40 years, you're going to have close to 5,400 40 years from now. At 5%, a little bit less. That's the power of the compounding. If you're able to make 20% every year, you actually get a hashtag. The hashtag means the cell is not wide enough to contain the number as formatted. If you could earn 20% every year on your money, you'll have almost 280 grand 40 years from now if you start with $100. Earning 20% every year is not an easy task. But historically, for example, small cap stocks earned around 16% or so. So if you earn 16, your $100 is going to be $58,000 or so. Now, these are simple functions that we don't even technically need because Excel has a function that calculates present value and future value of annuities. If it doesn't repeat itself, and you put payment as 0, you'll still get there. But I did this so that you could see how we're writing our functions. Now, let's get greedy. Let's say function present annuity growing. Again, it's going to have similar stuff, arguments. So I'm going to have, I'm going to call this I pay That's for the first period payment. iBalloon. I'm just going to call it iBalloon. It's my variable. I can call it anything I want. I rate as double. I grow as double. I time as double. And I'm going to do optional. ifrec as double equals 1. That means if the user does not provide the last argument, it's going to be assumed that it is 1. All right. In the interest of time, I'm not going to write many comments on this. This function calculates present value of a growing annuity. Interest rate and growth rate should be provided as APR. Or actually, let me do it the proper way. Interest rate is an APR and growth rate is an year, where year means, and I'm going to show you how to calculate that, effective annual rate.